never intended for public consumption. They are private letters, written quite frequently in the heat of passion, and often containing confessions, secrets, thoughts, and feelings that the letter writer would have more happily died than ever have had exposed to the punishing gaze of society. However, now that all of the letter writers are either dead, in prison, or hopelessly insane, with the exception of myself, I feel no compunction at gathering them all together, placing them in their sequence of events, and presenting them to you, my discerning readership. The events that are here within contained began in the year of our Lord 1748. It has taken me years to gather them, through various means, such as blackmail, bribery, cunning, deceit, and sometimes downright barbarism. Oh yes, barbarism. From the various hands into which they had fallen. I have changed no names. I have blunted no edges. I only ask that as you read the lives of these poor souls laid bare, you judge them by that honest yardstick of the darkest secrets that you yourself withhold. My dear reader, as I sit here in my study composing the preface to this anthology, I imagine you some 276 years in the future, sitting in your cozy study with your feet up on the ottoman, toasting by a cheerful fire, holding the warm leather-bound volume in your hands. Your anticipation is limitless. Your imagination is fevered, so much so that even without opening the book, you can imagine what the people who are in these pages look like. And my dear reader, so in tune are you with the vibrations of this book that you might even guess before you open the book which of the people that stand in the foreground of your imagination wrote the first letter. You might even, on the count of 3, shout out the color of the outfit you see them wearing. 1, 2, 3!
Red, blue, pink, red,
Blue.
You guessed too much. If you said red, you were correct. And dear reader of the future, you might even have a guess as to which of those creatures in your imagination is receiving the first letter. And once again, on the count of 3, you might shout out the color of the outfit they're wearing. 1, 2, 3! I heard my imagination. If you guessed green or teal or anything at that end of the rainbow, you are correct. And yet, dear reader, your imagination shall not be rested. You see that woman sitting at her desk, pen in hand, and you know she is writing about something that matters deeply to her, that she is thinking about. You might guess out loud on the count of 3, what is that thing that matters deeply to her that she is thinking about? 1, 2, 3!
baby.
She is, you guessed, love for a baby. You are correct. My dear reader, sit back, open the book, and peruse a series of scandalous letters and dangerous liaisons.
Mademoiselle Celeste to Pierre. My dearest love, how I miss your touch, your breath upon me. The last we spoke, you were headed out to war. But alas, I pray that the battle has ended and you can come near me once again so we can start the family that we've dreamed of. I spend most of my days wandering in the yard, thinking about you. But I do have company with my dear sister. The other day we were strolling and reminiscing on the past. I shall tell you about this now. The sun was shining, the birds were chirping, and my dear sister was here with me. Claire.
It is so good to see you again.
It's been tough without Pierre.
But you write him letters frequently, correct?
I do, but I have not heard back from him in so long. And I fear that the family that I dreamed of won't come about.
My dear sister, I long for you to be with child also, so that all of my babies will have cousins to play with. There are 6 of them now,
I know.
and one on the way.
Yes.
My dearest daughters,
Papa.
look upon your visage. Oh, you are as beautiful as ever. Celeste, I have news from the war.
News?
Yes. It appears Pierre has been injured.
Injured?
Yes, he has. It appears a stray bullet has pierced his knee, making him... What?
Which knee?
The left one. Making him struggle to walk any faster than a 63-year-old woman. But alas, due to that, he has been released from duty.
Celebration!
Yes, well, of course, I have already prepared it, my dear. It will be a homecoming for the ages. You sitting there in the galley of our ship, waiting for him to board slowly and come claim your hand in marriage.
Yes, Papa, it's finally happening!
It is settled now. I must go take my medicine, but my dear daughters, I am so happy for you.
Thank you, Papa. Oh, I must prepare at once.
I'm so happy for you, my dear sister.
I will write to Pierre now and let him know that I know that he's coming home and get ready for that right knee. And so, you see, my love, I know that you are coming home, and I will be waiting for you feverishly. Your dearest, dearest love, Celeste.
Pierre to Sergeant Claude. Sergeant, I wish to tell you of the circumstances that came to pass after my dismissal from the war. I was coming upon the galley of my soon-to-be father's ship. And there, in the breeze of the ocean, I could see my beloved. A party stirred upon that ship, many elegant people dancing in a way that I had not seen since our time in the war. Limping forth in my one good leg, I made eye contact with my Celeste. Celeste!
Pierre!
Oh. How I've longed for you these many, many months I've been away.
How I've longed for you. I thought I'd never see you again.
Oh, Sergeant, the greatest sight I had not seen in such a long time. Tears speckled my eyes, as if the ocean was casting its waves upon me. And my knee gave out at just the right time. Oh. No, please stand.
Oh!
I was in a severe amount of pain, but I did not let it show. Celeste Mouton, will you take my hand in marriage?
Yes!
Now, my dearest guests, I shall prepare the feast. Well, by me I mean my thousands of cooks. But they shall bring it forth to celebrate my daughter and my new son.
Well, Sergeant, the festivities went on. But I must tell you, now that I'm no longer a soldier, it is quite odd to return to my career as a psychic. Of course, I knew that bullet was coming. Yet, I still took the battlefield. Let me ahoy! And so still shall I rush forth toward my psychic duties evermore. Yours, Pierre.
Sergeant Claude, to his sister, Janine. My dear sister, you know I am incapable of containing my ill deeds from you. Once again, my wanderlust has wandered and lusted. I shall tell you the story. As you know, one of my greatest soldiers, Pierre, had been discharged due to an injury of his knee. He wrote to me of his fantastic love for his lady, Celeste, and I, to wish him a congratulations upon his safe homecoming, visited him at his home. I tell you, Pierre, the regiment is nothing without you, I said.
Sergeant, a vision has come to me.
Ah, yes, you're a psychic.
That I am.
It seems, my dear sister, he has the uncanny ability to know what's going to happen before it happens to him.
In mere moments, a messenger will arrive at my door.
Nonsense, you can't expect me to believe anything like that would possibly happen.
Yes, please enter.
Are you a messenger?
Yes.
Good God! I exclaimed.
I shan't can't even open this letter, because I can intuit from it. The war has come to an end, Sergeant.
Good God, the war has come to an end! You are quite unique in this gift of yours. And, dear sister, I was about to go into a lengthy and prolix encomium on his qualities when suddenly a light blinded my eyes. Music blared from the heavens, and a woman entered the room.
Oh. Pierre, we have a guest.
Yes. Mother, this is the sergeant that I spoke so heavily of to you.
Sergeant Claude.
Did you speak of me heavily, Pierre?
I did so.
Pray demonstrate.
Well, I told my mother of your many heroic antics in the war, such as whence I was struck by that stray bullet, and you coddled me, much like a babe, and rushed me from the battlefield to the tent, where I found infirmary.
Oh, Sergeant Claude, I do owe so much to you for the safety of my beloved son.
Yes. Your husband, I know, is off in Brienne fighting the Battle of Legume.
Yes, he is. The Battle of Legume, which has been going on for far too long.
It has deep roots.
Indeed it does. And yet, the men suffer for lack of protein.
Sergeant, I must tell you, I wish you were to meet my father. He's such a splendid man, and I look upon him with such admiration. Oh, never a man there were, well, perhaps yourself excluded.
Sister, need I tell you how at once my heart yearned for the vision in blue that stood before me like an angel?
Oh, 'tis but warm in here. Perhaps we shall open a window, Pierre.
I watched her as she walked to the window, the sunlight streaming through her gossamer dress.
Sergeant, I hope it would be terribly uncouth of me, but I must go tend to my bandages. If you could keep my mother company.
He said as he hobbled off.
I do hope that he shall be whole one day.
She said as she traipsed across the room and leaned delicately upon the mantelpiece.
Do you like my mantle? It is
Oh, yes, I do.
You know, my husband brought it from Brienne on one of his visits home.
Yes. Yes, your husband, a fine and respectable man. I have met him thrice.
Did you?
Yes,
And did he treat you well?
he did. Does he treat you well?
When he is gone, I enjoy his presence much more.
Dear sister, the waving of her fan perfumed the room, not with her artificial scent, but with the sweet rose flavor of her natural breath.
Oh, I shall open the other window.
She traipsed before me. The sunlight was even more keen, the gossamer even more sheer, the angle to which she needed to incline her body even more acute.
Oh, much better.
It was all I could do, sister, to withhold my lust. My dear, madam,
Yes.
I trust that I will see you later this evening, perhaps at dinner.
I should hope so. I shall make a place for you at the table then. Perhaps across from me or next to me.
Oh, my wonderful wife.
Oh, you're a wholesome
from the war, sir.
The war has ended.
I didn't realize it was so close by.
Father, how are the legumes?
They're fantastic. And who, may I ask, are you? Who do I have the pleasure to greet in my own home?
Sergeant Pierre Agneau. I was your son's commanding officer.
Yes, of course. Forgive me.
No, please. Forgive me.
Oh, no, please forgive me.
Oh, no, please forgive me.
Sergeant,
Yes.
tales of your glory and excellence are renowned.
Yes.
I must thank you, if I may, with my hand placed upon your chest. I feel your beating heart and the gratitude that I feel for you saving my child's life, for you being the great leader that this nation requires. I will put my life and trust into you.
Dear sister, it was all I could do to keep from clenching his throat with my hand and squeezing the life from his veins so I might bed his wife.
I know that you would even sacrifice your own life to protect us.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, husband. He has saved our child Pierre, Sergeant Claude.
Then you must join us for dinner this very evening.
Yes, I will. You will excuse me now. I need to, go.
Actually, I must part as well. I must tend to the horses momentarily, my dear.
Yes, it is so good to have you home.
As I walked out of the room, sister, I listened to their banter. I could not decipher it. And so, here I am, a house guest, beneath the roof of a man who possesses the one thing I now want more than anything else. Dear sister, have mercy on your tortured brother.
Mademoiselle Janine to Monsieur Pierre. Dear Pierre, there's something that I must say to you. I know that you are the soldier of my brother in his regime, but there is something that I need to tell you, and I don't quite know how. I told my best friend, Claire. I met her at the blacksmith's barn at midnight. Claire,
Is everything all right? It is quite late and quite dark.
everything is not all right. Please sit. I fear that all that is going on with my brother right now, I have a horrible confession to make, and I need you absolutely to keep this a secret. I am with child.
Congratulations.
No, it's Pierre's. Don't judge me.
My best friend with my sister's fiance.
It was a war. He showed me his right knee. What could I do?
Say no!
It was impossible. And now, I fear I can't say anything to my brother. He is in love. He'll never know what this feels like. What should I do?
Does Pierre know?
No. He does. Oh, Pierre, I'm so sorry. This wasn't the way I meant to tell you. Tink, 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 tink.
The blacksmith is here.
At midnight? Tink, tink. I must leave you now. promise me you won't say anything. Look at me. You are my best friend. You have been my best friend since we were born.
I will keep my lips sealed. For now.
And with that, Pierre, I leave you with this news. And I hope we can find some way to work through this. Sincerely, Janine.
Pierre to Monsieur Mouton. Sir, I have much respect for you, so I must recount the events that transpired between myself and Sergeant Claude. The two of us met at a bar. He was quite smoking. We had been in our cups. Claude much more so than myself.
And I said, why don't you take your English fanny out of here before I run it up your flagpole?
Monsieur Mouton, it truly was a funny joke, but I could not bring myself to laugh truthfully, for there was something on my mind.
Why aren't you drinking, boy?
Well, Sergeant, I think it best that I be clear of mind for what's to happen next.
Oh, yes, you're a psycho.
Sergeant,
What is it, son?
I have so much respect for you.
As you should.
And as you cradled me like a babe, pulling me from that battlefield, I made a pact with myself that I would always be truthful and kind to you.
Speak in my ear, and it shall not fly out t'other. Someone thinks that's funny, I'm sure.
Monsieur Mouton, it was now or never, as they say. Sir, I have impregnated your sister.
I slept with your mother.
No, sir, it's not an insult. What I'm saying is true.
What I'm saying is truthful as well.
Tisn't.
What?
Tis not. Tis not truthful.
I thought you said tea.
You've had too much to drink.
Perhaps, sir.
You have bedded my mother.
You have bedded my sister.
And so we are even. Monsieur Mouton, you are, I imagine, absolutely appalled at this news. Here I am, engaged to your daughter, and yet I've had extramarital intercourse.
Monsieur, come, sit down. I am a good deal older than you, and a good deal more drunk.
That was my plan.
I will tell you that this is the way of the world. You and I are men. Men born to travel the world, conquer foreign nations, suppress the population, and woo women. part of our life, monsieur. So why be ashamed of it? Yes, you bedded my sister. I bedded your mother, which is arguably worse. But let us drink to the fact that we can at least bed. And let us continue our lives with all the lust and proclivities that the good Lord gave us as our legacy.
Sergeant, I don't believe you understand the ramifications of these actions. My life is in shambles.
Shambles, how so, sir?
The woman that I love and wish to marry, well, I can no longer do so.
Why? Because you bedded another. Come, sir, can you really claim to have loved her if you were so easily wooed away?
Monsieur Mouton, I believe that I got 10% drunker just by the breath.
Is it not perhaps the case, sir, that you and I, as men, are more like wild stags and less like penguins?
We are not, sir. I do have to fundamentally disagree with this. What I did, bedding your sister, causing her impregnation, it was a terrible, terrible, grievous error on my part that I wish to use my resting days, the rest of my days, to rectify.
And I say that it is the moment of your liberation! You have finally cast off the shackles that have imprisoned you when you were on that battlefield, when musket fire was firing to the left of you and firing to the right of you, when you had no recourse but to dive into a ditch and hold your head and pray that God protect you, and if you die, let you into heaven rather than send you to hell. Tell me, sir, when you risked your life in such a way, was that so that you could live as a sheep, a penguin that mates for life and has no fun? Or did you risk everything so that you could inherit the world that you were born to take?
Sergeant,
I took dance as a child.
I have ever so much respect for you, but this is a point I cannot agree on.
I dare you, sir. Now that you have taken this step, now that you have passed through the door of sin, I dare you, sir, to step back in comfort.
I shall, and you shall not woo me in the devil's ways. I see the outcome of this situation in my head. I see it in my favor, sir.
Tell me, sir, do you know where I am about to go right now?
Frankly, you can go to hell. And I left him. And so, Monsieur Mouton, I formally rescind my offer of marriage to your daughter until such a point in time that I can reclaim my honor. Yours, Pierre.
Monsieur Jean-Paul Mouton, to his dearest daughter Celeste. My dear Celeste, I am afraid to share this experience with you, for I know it will break your heart in twain. Nay, twain. but I must, for I am a responsible father. You see, I've received news that make it impossible for you to marry Pierre. And that, of course, puts us in a difficult position. As you know, Pierre and his family have the most honorable business in this country of housewife purveyors. You know, don't really get how it works. But my dearest, I went to confront that child. There I was at Notre Dame. On the top of the tower. He was kneeling upon the edge of the tower, looking down, forlorn? Yes, forlornly, my dearest daughter. As if he were thinking of ending it all. Boy,
Monsieur Mouton,
yes, you have broken my daughter's heart, or you will when I tell her.
I realize this, sir. Please, if you could find forgiveness in your heart for my indiscretions.
I could never find forgiveness. That child is my light. She is everything to me. Did you know that when she was but a weak girl, I found her?
Yes, of course I know this story.
She was in a little basket.
The smallest, she says.
Then, in the foot of his Chateau Mayonnaise, the servants were out dusting the grand gate. As I walked out for my morning walk, and yes, there she was. You see, my dearest, I was explaining to him with vivid imagination what that looked like. Quite a small basket. And I grabbed her with a beautiful brown hair, her tiny little alien-looking arms, and I held her to my bosom. And I swore that I would protect her with my life, son. So you see, I could never forgive you. But you and your family are a necessity. And I cannot allow you to back out of this marriage. But we all know there is no love in this marriage.
No, sir, I do love your Celeste.
Do not speak lies. I know because you told me what you've done.
Sir, I shall prove it to you. I shall prove it to you that I truly love your daughter. And if not, I will cast myself from this tower.
That would be grand. And so you see, I left him. It took me quite a while to get down from that tower. So here I am telling you that that boy does not love you, but I am afraid that I must force you to marry him. Our family will be ruined otherwise. But know that my heart aches. Yours, Papa.
Celeste to Madame Marie. I do not know what to call you, as I was looking forward to call you Mama. But I have learned from my dear Papa that there has been some indiscretion from your son. I do not know what these indiscretions are, and I am going to find out. I did meet with someone who had some information to give me the other evening.
I appreciate you meeting me here at the powder room.
Thank you for obliging my request.
This is the only bar that has a powder room.
Well, I am a lady.
And I am a man.
You missed a spot. A lot of spots. Just sit.
Your Pierre has impregnated another woman.
No,
Oh, yeah.
I do not believe you. He would not do that to me.
Do you know why I wish to meet you in the powder room? For one thing, the light is wonderful.
Yes.
But for another thing, it's because of this mirror. Come, my dear. Look in that mirror. I have found that this is the most crystal clear mirror in all of Paris. When you look into that mirror, it shows you not what you wish to see of yourself, but the very truth. Look into that mirror, my dear, and tell me if you see a woman who believes truly that Pierre has been faithful to her.
I do not see that woman.
Tell me what you see.
I see an orphan.
You were found in a little basket, weren't you?
Yes, like an orphan.
I mean little, right?
I was undersized.
Yes, you were. But you are no longer undersized, are you?
No, I feel like I really filled out.
You are a tall, mature, and beautiful woman now.
Yes.
You needn't be held down by the strictures of society, my dear.
No.
If that man doesn't care for you, if he prefers the sheets of another, then you have no need to wring your heart in pain for him.
No, I don't. But my papa says I must.
Then you must defy your papa.
But he found me and fed me.
Yes.
How could I betray him?
It is easier than you imagine. Do you know, I too once had a papa. I even had a mama.
That would make sense.
And my papa too wished to dictate my life. Do you know what my papa wanted me to be?
A makeup artist?
Yes.
I must be psychic.
A makeup artist. Do I look like a makeup artist?
I mean, you could pass for one.
Well, I'm not a makeup artist. And I don't want to be a makeup artist. I wanted to be a soldier. Oh no, said Papa. Oh no, said Mama. You must be a makeup artist. Oh yes, a makeup artist. There are in need of makeup in the royal court. And if you wish to gain favor with the royal court, you must tend to the whims of the precious noses and cheeks of the fat, obsequious courtiers.
But you became a soldier, actually a sergeant.
Because I stood up to my mama. I stood up to my papa. And I said no.
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 My papa was unassailable in his adamant insistence upon my career. And rather than let me live my life, he challenged me to a duel. And I killed him.
Oh. You are not suggesting I battle my own father.
No, that would be redundant. But I am suggesting you live your life. That is all I ever fought for. The freedom for people to live their own life. Come and look in this mirror again.